Sometimes it works. Yeah.
It's good. But yeah, so like I want to figure out what it's like.
I would love to know, and I'm curious if that is, I'm curious to know.
Well, I think that regardless that all project owners correct, and so we're supposed to have that.
That we have to do.
And so like,
Yes.
so like, let's say we don't get like we don't yeah, and I met him when we were walking the trail. Like I think Bill called me, he was out there.
Yeah.
Like called me, like, all right, I'm going.
I don't know how he knows all these
Well,
places.
look at it.
And driving around the neighborhood. Yeah. It's pretty creepy. It's a little too much. A little too much. And that's why they were going. Yep.
That's and given his cultural background is probably really, really insulting.
Not about the best.
What did you make of that front discussion?
Oh my gosh, I didn't want to say anything. I tried to stay away from it.
I'm trying to be diplomatic.
I thought you did it very well. You said there's a lot of pluses and minuses, and personally, the safety issue for me gives it the plus. I was surprised by that, to be honest, but then I wasn't surprised by that.
Yeah, no, I try to be. I was like, well, personally, I wouldn't change anything right now.
There is so many of those, and they're making
Well, so to be fair, I think there is
Mrs. Peak, could you please call us out of closed session?
Yes, thank you, Madam Mayor. The council has reconvened from closed session during which it discussed pending and potential litigation under Government Code Section 54956.9 sub D sub 1 and sub D sub 4 with respect to Adam Engineering Construction and its surety, Ohio Casualty Company, Insurance Company, and the council discussed the matter, and no reportable action was taken. That concludes the closed session report.
Thank you so much, Mrs. Peak. With that, the special meeting is adjourned, and we will go right into our regularly scheduled meeting for December 9th, 2025. I'd like to call the meeting to order, and if you could please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And I have an invocation. Lord God, thank you for this beautiful holiday season. I pray that our community members would spend wonderful time with one another, with their families, with the people that they care about, and that everyone would be safe, and that you would put your hand on everything that is within our city limits, Lord God. And I thank you for my colleagues. I thank you for our public. I thank you for our beautiful city and all the trails, the parks, all of the things that we get to share together, and our businesses as well. I pray this in your name. Amen. Okay, let's move on to roll call. Mr. Skolnick?
Councilmember LeBlanc,
Present.
Councilmember Musgrove,
Yes.
Councilmember Nunez,
Present.
Deputy Mayor Sinella,
Here.
and Mayor Jones.
Here. Okay, moving on to the consent calendar. Do we have any items that any council members wish to pull?
I'd like to pull item 11.
Okay. Do I have a motion for the remainder?
I'll
to
move.
approve the balance. Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Any noes? Seeing none. Item number 11, yes, Councilmember Nunez.
Thank you, Mayor. I just wanted to highlight item number 11, which is for us to accept $5 million in grant funding from the California Department of State Parks. I want to give thanks to our Assemblywoman, Dr. Patel, for advocating for this funding, much-needed funding that will make such a significant impact in our city. And so I look forward to hearing from city staff how we are going to improve our city and our parks. So with that, I move to approve the item.
Okay, I'll second. Oh, we have a second. Motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you very much, Councilmember Nunez. They don't call us San Marcos for nothing, so thank you very much for bringing that up. Okay, oral communications. We have a couple of speakers, a few speakers. First is Liz Santor, followed by Marlene Walder. Welcome.
Good evening, Honorable Mayor Jones and council members. My name is Liz Santos, and I'm here to speak on behalf of the property owners impacted by the recent development activities within North City's specific plan. Growth and development are important, but it cannot come at the expense of safety and property rights that are not under an applicant's control. Today we have an unfortunate challenge with city staff who are not willing to come to a solution, nor provide written documentation of our property rights being written or given to Gary Levitt or his subsidiaries. We have not sued the city of San Marcos. However, the city of San Marcos has set up and allowed Gary Levitt to sue us by approving grading plans he did not own fee simple rights to. The city overlooked our access circulation and continues to not protect our property rights. The city's oversight and allowance for Gary Levitt to sue us does not constitute a time extension for a tentative parcel map. San Marcos Municipal Code and California Code Subdivision Ordinance Chapter 19.04, Development Agreement Chapter 20.540, and California Civil Code Section 841 require the respect of development conditions, protect all private interest, and share responsibilities for property boundaries. These are not suggestions, they are obligations. Mayor Jones, this is your legacy. Please encourage action upon your departure from the city, and city council members recognize that this will set precedent upon your children and children's children. We look forward to you, elected officials, having discussions with the city staff and making recommendations immediately. Thank you.
Thank you. Next up, Marlene Walder.
Good morning, evening, Mayor and Deputy Mayor and council members, staff. I've been out of state for 3 weeks, and I come back, and the new project on Barham next to Grace Church was supposed to have a sign that says no left turn between hours, whatever. It should read no left turn, period, but you agreed upon with that development there would be a sign, and people are ignoring it, but I'm not sure which is the exit and which is entrance. The one that's by Myers, people are coming out, but it's when they're going in. And this all happened today because I haven't been home for a month almost. When I was last here, I left the following weekend. And the one by Myers, but on Barham, their exit, they're still making U-turns to go into that no-turn area to go as if they were coming from Nordall. and they forgot to turn at Myers, and they're making a U-turn to go in the back way on Barham. There's no entrance on Barham unless you're going towards Nordall. And today, while I was coming home, the cars were blocking our entrance when it says, the sign says, please do not block entrance. They're supposed to stop further back, and they're all rushing to make that signal and not allowing people to turn left when it's safe. But the worst part is when you forget and you think you're going to turn into our park and you can't see in the other direction because the cars are blocking your view totally. And if there would be like a crosswalk or a white line a little further back, people could see and maybe avoid an accident. But at Lamore, at Barham, the street right next to our mobile home park, it says no right turn between 3 and 6. I was there at 4 o'clock, and I watched 4 cars turn right during that time slot while I was waiting for the signal to change. True, there were no cars, but that sign nobody pays attention to. So there's 3 accidents waiting to happen right at on Barham from the new buildings and also from the street on Lamore. But it's really getting tough to get out of our own park. Thank you.
Thank you, Marlene. Could we have staff look at the signs, please? Thank you. Okay, moving on to ordinances. Ordinance 2025-1575, amending San Marcos Municipal Code Title 17, Buildings, Construction, and Related Activities, and adopting local amendments to the California Building Code. Do we have a staff presentation on this? Oh. I didn't go out of order, did I?
You did not. It's
Okay.
We're just humming along so quickly.
That's
Caught
okay.
everybody unawares.
I'm having a long day, so I'm just wondering if it was me somehow.
I think we're all thrown off with no presentations and proclamations. We're just zipping right along.
We are.
Yes, with us this evening, we have our building program manager, David Yorba, who will make the presentation.
Okay. Is this your first presentation to us? Second, okay. All right. Is your microphone on?
There we go.
There you go. Okay, great.
Awesome. Well, thank
Welcome.
you. Well, good evening. Before you tonight, we have the ordinance to formally adopt the state-mandated 2025 California Building Codes. In addition, we're proposing updates to the Chapter 17 of our municipal code to align with the code changes adopted at the state level by the California Building Standards Commission. To provide you with a little bit of background, the California Building Standards Commission reviews and updates the applicable codes to construction and property maintenance every 3 years. Prior to adoption, our building division staff reviews the existing local amendments and updates Chapter 17 to ensure consistency with the newly adopted state regulations. At this time, we're not proposing any new amendments to the 2025 California Building Codes that will take effect this coming January 1st, 2026. And with that, that concludes my presentation, and I'm happy to answer any questions you may have.
All right, do any council members have any questions on this item? It's basically adopting the California Building Code.
That is correct.
Okay, so this is an ordinance, the introduction of the ordinance that I already read the entire title. I'll make a motion to approve. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Oh, did someone say something? Sorry.
No, I was going to second.
Oh, okay. We have a motion and a second. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Any noes? Seeing none. Okay, moving on to item number 21, ordinance 2025-1576, amending Title 14, Chapter 1404, Highways and Traffic Applications, Permits, and General Provisions, and Title 17, Chapter 17.32, Grading and Related Activities of the San Marcos Municipal Code. Do we have a presentation on that?
Yes, Madam Mayor, we have our principal from Land Development, Kyrene, who'll be here this evening to make the presentation.
Okay.
Good evening. Tonight, Development Services is introducing Ordinance 2025-1576, amending San Marcos Municipal Code, Chapter 14.04 and Chapter 17.32. Title 14, Chapter .04 establishes requirements for private contract work within public right-of-way for the development of private property. This chapter was last updated in 2024. The updates to Chapter 14.04 include renaming the chapter to Public Places, Applications, Permits, and General Provisions. The update also adds specific application requirements consistent with the city's current business process for plan submittals and clarifies permit requirements consistent with Chapter 14.16 on obtaining permit for the work within the right-of-way. New Section 14.04.112 adds application and permit expiration timelines and appeal procedures. The expiration timeline parallels the city's current process for the grading applications in Chapter 17.32. Title 17, Chapter 17.32 regulates the development of property by grading and was last updated in 2022. Chapter 17.32 updates include clarification on grading permit application requirements and allowing the director to have discretion to extend the time limit of a grading permit application. The updates also allow the appeal of a denial of an extension request. Each extension request would be evaluated based on the applicant's diligence in pursuing completion of the permit application. In evaluating an extension request, the director would consider whether the applicant has been prevented from completing the application for reasons beyond their control, such as encountering unanticipated site and/or environmental constraints, permitting requirements of other regulatory agencies, and/or obtaining the necessary easements to permit the work. The proposed actions do not constitute as a project per Section 15378 of CEQA and therefore is exempt from an environmental review in accordance with Section 15.6061B3. And that concludes staff's presentation.
Thank you so much. Okay, this is also an ordinance, an introduction. Do we have any questions or further discussion? Seeing none, do we have a motion?
I'll move to introduce the first reading, Mayor.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any noes? Seeing none, motion also passes unanimously. Next item is our first public hearing, Resolution 2025-9531, adopting the fiscal year 24-25 public facilities fees annual report findings. Do we have?
Yes, thank you, Madam Mayor. I have a very, very brief few sentences. The annual public facilities fee report is being presented for council review in compliance with Government Code Section 66006. The report provides required information regarding the city's development impact fees transaction activities for the preceding fiscal year. As also required, notice of the report and its availability was advertised to the public prior to tonight's meeting. Staff recommends that the City Council receive and file the report as presented.
Okay, do we have any further discussion? And we have no public speakers, by the way, on the last couple of items. Any further discussion? Seeing none, do we have a motion to close the public hearing?
I'll move.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to close the public hearing. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any noes? Seeing none, do we have a motion to approve?
Move to adopt.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any noes? Seeing none? Okay, moving on to item number 23, the resolutions. I'm going to read them in full so we don't have to do it a second time. Resolutions number 2025-9514 and 9515, and ordinance numbers 2025-1572, 1573, and 1574. The University District Specific Plan, UDSP, self-storage and district expansion, adoption of an environmental impact report addendum, and regulatory amendments and entitlements to allow the construction of a self-storage facility and expand the University District Specific Plan area. Okay, we've got the A team here. Who's starting off? Mr. Fracci?
Yeah, good evening, Mayor Jones, council members. Chris Garcia and Kyrene Chua will be making tonight's presentation on this item.
All right, thank you.
Good evening. The University District Self-Storage and District Expansion Project is made up of several developer-requested entitlements, including specific plan amendments to the University District and Heart of the City specific plans, a general plan amendment, municipal code text amendment, and a conditional use permit for the development of a self-storage facility. The University District specific plan was originally adopted in 2009. The plan is currently 203 acres and generally located south of State Route 78 and east and west of Twin Oaks Valley Road. One intent of the specific plan is to create an urban, pedestrian-friendly environment. The University District specific plan has been amended several times since its adoption, with the last formal amendment occurring in 2022. A formal amendment has been requested to expand the specific plan boundary, update the transportation demand management plan, create a self-storage overlay zone, revise the public art process, update graphics, and other minor updates and cleanup items. The applicant is requesting to expand the University District boundary by including 2 acres on East Carmel Street, currently developed with the Hampton Inn. The site would be designated mixed-use building A or commercial building, which allows for hotels. No changes to the existing hotel are proposed as part of this project, but is expected in the near future. In 2024, the city's current transportation demand management ordinance became effective. The TDM ordinance satisfies the city's climate action plan requirements to assist with reducing greenhouse gas emissions. The University District TDM plan is being updated to be consistent with the latest TDM ordinance, while also recognizing the specific plan area's design, location, development pattern, and vision, which emphasizes a reduction in vehicle miles traveled. A new self-storage overlay zone is proposed within the University District that includes a single 2.71 acre property at the east end of the plan area. This overlay would allow the construction of a self-storage facility with an approved conditional use permit, or continue to allow mixed use or commercial development with an approved site development plan. A conditional use permit for a self-storage facility in the new overlay zone has been included with this project application. The self-storage facility would replace the existing CubeSmart storage facility located to the west. The proposed self-storage site is located east of the North County Transit Sprinter tracks, west of existing industrial uses, and north of a housing development currently under construction. The project site has been rough graded, consistent with a previously approved development on this site. The conditional use permit has been conditioned so that the existing CubeSmart facility to the west shall cease operations within 1 year after the new facility receives temporary occupancy. Once operations are discontinued at the existing facility, the site will become available for redevelopment consistent with the University District specific plan. No redevelopment proposal for the existing CubeSmart site is included with this project. The 2.71 acre self-storage site will have 88,350 square feet of rentable storage space divided between 2 buildings. This is approximately 10,000 square feet more than the existing CubeSmart storage facility. The project will take access from East Carmel Street and have steel fencing around the site for security. Building A is a 3-story, 38-foot tall building and contains storage units and a leasing office. This building is set back approximately 90 feet from East Carmel Street. Building B is a 12-foot, 1-story building that contains drive-up storage units and will be mostly screened from view by Building A. Landscape area, including trees, will be provided along the project frontage. Loading areas and 12 parking spaces are located on site. These are the elevations of Building A. The north elevation at the bottom of the slide is the elevation facing East Carmel Street and State Route 78. Building materials consist of colored metal panels and painted concrete block. The metal panels will have a non-reflective matte finish, and the windows will also have a non-reflective exterior to minimize glare. The building design includes elements of an office building. There's a large white area in the middle of the north elevation that has been reserved for public art, as projects in the University District specific plan require a public art component, and the design will be approved by city staff. These are the elevations of the smaller Building B located to the rear of the property and sits at a lower elevation below the housing project to the south. The majority of this building will be screened from public view by Building A. This is a rendering of the proposed self-storage facility as seen from State Route 78. You will notice the proposed landscaping and trees between the street and the building. The housing development under construction to the south has been added to this rendering. A conceptual mural has been shown in the area reserved for public art in the center portion of the 3-story building.
The relocation of the existing storage facility on Carmel Street includes an increase in square footage from 78,000 square feet to 88,350 square feet, resulting in 20 new average daily trips to the site and 2 new peak hour trips. This increase in trips was accounted for and is within the thresholds provided by the latest local transportation analysis for the University District Specific Plan prepared in 2022. Therefore, there are no substantial improvements required of the project. The project also demonstrated to have a less than significant transportation impact per the 2022 Specific Plan Amendment and accompanying VMT analysis, which is included the project site. The removal of the Hampton Inn site from the heart of the city specific plan and its proposed inclusion into the University District Specific Plan would not have any effect on traffic or trip generation in the area, as the site is existing with no redevelopment proposed at this time. Any future redevelopment of the site would require appropriate traffic analysis, and therefore no traffic impacts identified with this proposed amendment.
In addition to the entitlements already discussed, the project application includes additional minor amendments. An amendment to the heart of the city specific plan is required to remove the Hampton Inn property from the plan since it's being added into the University District. A general plan amendment is also required to update maps by showing the revised boundaries of the specific plans and to update specific plan details. Finally, a municipal code text amendment is proposed to exclude the University District self-storage overlay zone from the self-storage requirements listed in section 20.400.180. Development of a self-storage facility in this overlay zone shall comply with the requirements and development standards of the specific plan. A discussion of all requested amendments is included in the project staff report and the associated attachments. In compliance with the California Environmental Quality Act, an environmental impact report was certified in 2009 for the University District Specific Plan. Addenda to this previously certified EIR were prepared concurrently with other specific plan amendments. In addition, an additional addendum was prepared for the project and analyzed all potential environmental impacts associated with the project. It was determined that none of the conditions described in CEQA have occurred that would require a subsequent EIR. Therefore, the final EIR adequately addresses the impacts of the proposed project. In addition to the public notices that were mailed, a public workshop was held in April. One nearby property owner attended the meeting but did not provide specific comments or concerns with the proposed project. Additional public comments were received from Caltrans and Vallecito's Water District, and those comments have been addressed in the project's design and conditions of approval. The Planning Commission heard the project on October 20th, and no members of the public spoke. The Planning Commission had questions and comments regarding closing the existing self-storage facility, security, timing of the public art component, and the timing of the future Hampton Inn hotel improvements. The applicant responded to the questions, and the Planning Commission recommended approval of the project by a 7-0 vote. In summary, the project is consistent with general plan land use goals, including providing a balanced and compatible mix of land uses and maintaining a supportive business climate and sustainable economy. The approval of a new self-storage overlay zone and facility will facilitate the relocation of an older facility and provide future redevelopment opportunities. The expansion of the University District will allow for an existing hotel to continue operations, and the updated transportation demand management plan will comply with the current city ordinance. Finally, the EIR addendum for this project demonstrates that the project will not have any new significant environmental impacts. Staff recommends that City Council approve the requested entitlements as outlined on this slide, and that concludes staff's presentation, and I am available to answer questions. The project applicant also has a presentation.
Okay, does anyone have any questions of staff before we go into the presentation by the property owner? No, applicant, no? Okay, all right, we will then hear from North City, if anyone's wondering in the audience. University District is what we approved it back in 2009, but it's also known as North City, so people are confused.
Good. Is
Welcome.
on? Great. Good evening, council members, Mayor Jones, city staff. My name is Darren Levitt with the North City Development. I will try and keep this brief. I know we just went through a very lengthy explanation of everything that we're asking for, and if you have any questions, of course, I'm here to respond to those. In summary, from what Chris mentioned, we're really asking for three things. One is the inclusion of the Hampton Inn into the University District. The second is the CubeSmart self-storage land swap proposal, and then updates to the TDM. you heard the litany of things that we're asking for today. It's somewhat unwinding some of the original municipal code and the specific plan and the heart of the city specific plan. So thanks for bearing with us as we went through a very lengthy process with city staff to figure out how to make this all come to conclusion. So I think the Hampton Inn is very straightforward. Today it's outside of this specific plan. The yellow shows the area that we would like to incorporate into the specific plan, because today it's technically outside of the university district. Here's some graphics that just give you some really clear lines of sight as to how it makes a lot of sense to bring it into the specific plan area. And obviously, once we do that, we need to bring it up to code with all of the zoning regulations and charts that the specific plan has. So in terms of its height, in terms of its use type, nothing is really out of the ordinary from what I think everybody here would expect of this property, and we do intend to keep it as a Hampton Inn going forward. The self-storage project is a little bit more complex in that it was really from a financial aspect too costly to purchase this property and its business. And so working with CubeSmart, who's a very large REIT, we came up with a solution whereby building them a new facility, it made a lot more sense from a financial aspect to deliver them a brand new facility, which I think everybody here could agree beautifies what has been a vacant site for as far back as we can all remember, but also get rid of what is today a one-story metal-clad building that sits right in the middle of the university district. And ensuring this land swap, we can continue on with what everybody has seen to date that we have developed in the North City project and keep building some fantastic mixed-use properties. And so this is really the replacement. We would be moving the existing self-storage business into a brand new facility that's freeway adjacent. It also is a really nice buffer to the apartment building that we are under construction with today, just to the south of this property. Some renders of the existing facility there in the top left and the future facility bottom right. This is the other perspective from what staff just presented. And there's the same rendering that you just saw. And we need to create some zoning laws that only permit this type of use in this specific area, hence the overlay. And you've seen all of the setbacks and the municipal code updates to allow for self-storage in this specific overlay zone. Here's the site plan and the conceptual landscape plan to make sure that we are screening what is a very long building with quite a hefty amount of landscape. So it's a more beautiful frontage to what is a very public view of North City. Very small increase in trips, just given that we are increasing the square footage ever so slightly to make sure that it works from a financial aspect for CubeSmart themselves. And then the last item on our agenda tonight is really just bringing our transportation demand management plan, which we have had since 2009, and the city adopted their new TDM. We just needed to tweak our existing transportation demand management plan to sing with the updated municipal one. And that is really it. So I'm here to answer any questions if there are.
Thank you, Mr.
Yep.
Levitt. First, on the CubeSmart, there's
Yep.
not going to be any outdoor storage, correct?
No outdoor storage,
Okay,
correct.
so you're
Yep.
not adding that.
Correct.
And then also, I think the improvements, the frontage improvements from the 78 are quite significant because currently it is single story. However, there's no landscaping, barely a setback. It's only a little parking area right there. So it'll be improved, I think, visually a lot.
Yeah.
And then also the Hampton Inn. What are the plans for that? Because there's not a plan to tear it down and rebuild it, but there are some significant improvements, I understand, to spruce it up?
Yep.
What's that?
Yeah, we certainly have plans, and we're working with staff on an application to improve the quality of that Hampton Inn and bring it up to actually Hilton's brand standards. And consistent with the specific plan, we do have entitlements for more hotel rooms, so we are considering expanding that Hampton Inn by a few
Into
rooms.
the current parking area right there on the corner?
Correct.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. Okay. Any other questions from any council members? No? Councilmember LeBlanc, sorry, you were drinking. I didn't know if you heard me. Okay.
Great, thank you.
All right. No questions. Thank you. Okay. we have a couple of, or we have one speaker, and that's Liz Santos. And my apologies for, I read your name, it didn't look like an S on the first time, so my apologies. I didn't want to call you the wrong name. Thanks.
Good evening, Mayor Jones and council members. My name is Liz Santos. We are not against development, but we do have to appeal this project since the approval of this project hinders our ability to rebuild at 134 and 140 East Barham Drive. We have been here for the better part of 50 years. The applicant presenting tonight has controlling interest on the University District Plan. He is co-owner, co-creator, and with the City of San Marcos, and has sued us in attempts to steal our proper estate. This is not that he does not own, and while we are dealing with the legal challenge, he has submitted plans for redevelopment, limiting our ability to future rebuild our homes. As we understand it and continue to tell Gary Levitt and Darren Levitt that they cannot take our real estate. Reability for our properties at 134 and 140 is hindered with every permit issue under the University District specific plan. Though our properties do not share a common property line, the City of San Marcos has not reserved residential homes or units on parcels within the specific plan overlay zone, and rather first come, first served basis. We seek remedy under state housing laws that we will be able to rebuild homes at 134 and 140 East Barham Drive. Again, we're not against development and understand this is a huge effort for everyone to be here tonight. However, this approval would negatively impact us, reduce number of homes available under the specific plan infrastructure reserved for the overlay, and as other private property owners within the University District Plan, the city would be displaying an unbalanced decision tonight by approving this project. It is unfortunate, but this impasse will our neighbors continue to be about a person trying to steal our real estate rights. Please take this into consideration and provide a condition or nexus as related to the solution on the matter since it is within the specific plan. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Any discussion from the council?
I'll just reiterate what you said, Mayor, that one, I've been hearing about this land swap for quite a few years now, and I'm glad that it finally came to fruition. And it seems like we don't have anybody here from CubeSmart, at least nobody that's going to speak. So I'm assuming that they're happy with the results of the finished product. And I'm just glad that we were able to find a win-win for everybody involved. I think it makes a lot of sense. And then the Hampton Inn, I think bringing that into the specific plan is kind of a no-brainer. I think that's going to be an enhancement for that area as well and provide an upgraded hotel experience for our residents and the folks that come visit our residents. And I also like the landscaping plan too, because it's not so beautiful right at the moment, but these drawings here look really good.
It's been there quite a long time, so I think it was just memorialized and under a different time frame of what we wanted the city to look like.
Looks great.
Okay. Any other further discussion? Seeing none, I will. This is a public hearing. I would move to close the public hearing. Do I have a second? We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any noes? Seeing none. Okay, then I would make a motion to adopt the EIR, Addendum EIR 25-005, introduce ordinance number 2025-1572, specific plan amendment SP 24-0003, introduce ordinance number 2025-1573, specific plan amendment SP 25-0001, also adopt resolution 2025-9514, and general plan amendment GPA 25-0002, introduce ordinance number 2025-1574, and text amendment TA 24-0004, as well as adopt resolution number 2025-9514 9515, conditional use permit CUP 24-0005, and exempt the CEQA exemption of EX 25-036. I don't think I missed anything.
I think you got it, Mayor.
I almost missed the CEQA exemption, but I think I grabbed that. So,
I'll second your proposal, Mayor.
okay, we have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any noes? Seeing none. Okay. All right, moving on to oral communications. Do we have any further? Yes, we do. Okay. We have two speakers. We have Flower Alvarez Lopez and then also Alondra Alvarez. Flower Alvarez is first. Oh,
She's going to go second.
I'm sorry?
She's going to go second right after me. She's
Oh,
requested that I-
okay.
If
All
that's
right. Alondra Alvarez. Welcome.
Hello, everyone. Good evening, Mayor and City Council members. For the record, my name is Alondra Alvarez, and I'm a community educator at Universidad Popular. And I want to take this time to share how generous and giving the San Marcos community has been this holiday season. We continue to run our Universidad Popular community pantry and want to recognize the San Marcos residents that continue to support the impacted families in our community. Allie Stanton delivered 10 turkeys before Thanksgiving that were distributed to families in need. Kathy Rote organized a toy drive amongst 70 different households and across 2 neighborhoods, and all these toys are going to be distributed at our Posada celebration, spreading holiday cheer to the children of our community. Sharon Jenkins continues to donate food and other necessary items to our community pantry. And Casa de Amparo has donated boxes of clothes and shoes, and with this cold weather, the winter coats are really keeping folks warm. So these collaborations and donations keep the community clothed and fed, and we want to thank these folks and are happy to share the generosity of our San Marcos residents. And finally, our co-director, Dr. Arcela Nunez, attended the Kiwanis Parade and raved about how beautiful the festivities were. These events are so important to bring the community together and celebrate our wonderful city. And on the topic of holiday celebrations, we want to officially invite you all to our community Posada celebration. A posada is a traditional Mexican Christmas celebration that is centered around a pilgrimage in which the entire community will participate in a procession full of singing and holiday cheer. So as we bid farewell to the new year, or to the year, we want to celebrate with tamales, piñatas, music, and activities for the whole family. And the invitation has been emailed to all of you, and we really hope to see you all there. Thank you.
Thank you. Next up is going to be Flower Alvarez Lopez.
Hello, Mayor and City Council members. For the record, my name is Flower Alvarez Lopez, and I'm here on behalf of Universidad Popular to provide on-the-record updates and a formal request for a fee waiver on one of the city facilities. Universidad Popular is a North County, San Diego-based organization where our primary offices are located here in San Marcos on Autumn Drive in District 1. We respectfully request a fee waiver for a 2-day partner convening focused on community investment programs in collaboration with statewide partners. The convening is scheduled for Thursday, March 12th and Friday, March 13th, and we're trying to use the Williams Red Barn as a host location. This convening will bring partners from across California to San Marcos for discussions on strengthening community-rooted programs and advancing healthy, supported communities throughout the state. Universidad Popular was identified as the statewide partner organization to be recognized at this face-to-face convening. I have contacted Ms. Crystal Mainprice and confirmed that the Williams Red Barn is available for both days. Thank you for your consideration and continued support in community-based organizations serving San Marcos and the greater region. Any recommendations on how to move that request forward would be greatly appreciated. And I also just want to thank Alondra for her on-the-record updates. We hope to see you all at our community posada. I believe this will be the 5th year that we do it in partnership with Restoration Abbey. It's a great family-friendly event that really recommend folks show up to. Thank you.
Thank you. And staff's going to be talking to them.
Yes, we will follow up.
Perfect. Thank you. Okay.
Sure, there's a form for that.
Yes. I just wanted to make sure. Okay. Moving on to reports. We have a Sandag, and I forgot my notes, so I actually can't speak to that. So I will do it at the next meeting. So I'll do November, December. And we have a meeting coming up this Friday. League of California Cities, Councilmember Musgrove.
Thank you, Mayor. We had our Zoom meeting yesterday, and the highlights of the meeting were that the league leaders had met in a retreat in Riverside County to discuss 2026 issues and areas of concern. Those being, amongst others, prioritizing the state's unfunded mandates, and as we know, the city pays a considerable price for that every year. From Prop 1A in 2004, where the citizens of California said no more unfunded mandates, and the state of California continues to pass them down. Another one is taking another look at the redevelopment agency and that framework where Governor Brown sees those funds to help bridge a gap in the budget, or a similar funding mechanism to help support local jurisdictions meet our goals, not the least of which are the housing mandates. Properly funding Prop 36 and the definition of public safety, which was expanded, the proposal is to expand it, and I think it's just common sense, to include fire safety services as well as public works, because there's an integration between those three entities that have to happen at any issue of disaster emergency preparedness. And broaden the state's support for housing and homeless services. And I am going to stop right there and turn it over to Councilmember Nunez, who is not only our representative with me on the city, but also the president of the local chapter.
Yeah, thank you for that, council member. I don't really have a whole lot to add other than we have great representation here from San Diego County. In fact, Councilmember Teresa Acosta in Carlsbad is currently serving as our first VP, so I think we'll be able to bring forward any concerns that we have.
Then that would conclude my report.
My favorite thing,
RDAs?
unfunded mandates. Do we have a number on that? Isn't it right around $1 million or something?
It's slightly over $1 million.
$1 million that we could actually be using on our residents that we pay for unfunded mandates, where the state says, we have to do this, but you have to do it on your own dime, which is so frustrating for me. And, I always rage about this, so we need some relief. So anyway, hopefully they start taking it seriously. They can't just keep taking our money. And by the way, ERAF, that's money that comes from the city of San Marcos. That's right around 14% that goes up to the Education Augmentation Fund. I forget what the R stands for. That goes to the state. What do they do with that money? Just wondering. We get 7.2%. They get 14 something. Just a question that I'll leave out there.
It goes into the abyss, Mayor.
Yeah, well, anyway, always upset about that part. So anyway, okay, moving on to North County Transit District, Deputy Mayor Sanella.
Yes, Mayor. We met down on Oceanside last month, and most of what we discussed and approved was kind of housekeeping stuff that was on consent. But we did have a public hearing. As the district continues to analyze the ridership data and make adjustments to their Breeze and their coaster and their other offerings to make sure that they're getting as much as they possibly can out of the resources that they have to operate the transit district, we made it. The board voted unanimously to standardize weekend Breeze service levels and to consolidate the coaster connection service from 5 routes to 2. And so. With regards to what was approved by the board, Sunday service to the Breeze routes 304 and 318 were approved to add those, and then we eliminated Saturday service on the Breeze routes 325 and 347 to create one weekend schedule as opposed to 2 separate Saturday and Sunday schedules. And so, again, it's all designed to kind of make things operate more efficiently and be able to get the most out of our resources. And then of the 2 coaster connection routes that we kept, that was a data-driven decision. We kept the 2 most popular routes, which was the Flex 473 and 479.
Okay, and how is the North County Transit NCTD Plus going?
It's going good. As you know, we just had an update from NCTD's staff on that. Mm-hmm. And we're continuing to evaluate the ongoing kind of beta rollout of it. And hopefully, I know, speaking just for myself, and I know that you feel the same way, Mayor, we are hoping to expand those services sooner than later in San Marcos. It's trying to work with Sandag to get the resources, the financial resources, but I would love to see it up in San Elio Hills. I've had communications with residents and folks up in that area who are actively involved in the neighborhood, and they have expressed a desire to have it there, especially to help their kids get to and from the high schools. And I think that'd be a great use of NCTD Plus. And so we're optimistic, but we still got to find the money.
Yeah, it's all about the money.
Yep.
Show us the money. Okay, North County Dispatch Joint Powers Authority, Councilmember LeBlanc.
We met last week, and we had our annual financial report. We elected our chair and vice chair. We ended up keeping the same chair and vice chair. So the chair is Rick Robinson from Oceanside, and the vice chair is James Ashcraft from the Rancho Santa Fe Fire Protection District. And we had a facility update on the possibility of a future facility for Northcom in the Rancho Santa Fe Fire Protection District in Harmony Grove. And we're continuing to explore that. We actually hired a consultant and had an architectural firm and consultant do a presentation giving us a potential site design and layout. So they have some really good ideas for that, so we're continuing to move forward with that. And we had a closed session with some labor negotiations, and I know throughout the year we've discussed the whole updates to the membership agreement that's been being talked about for several years, I understand.
Yes.
But that was not agendized this time, so we expect that to come back at our next meeting.
And the move too has been, or the expansion has been several years too in the making.
This looks like it's actually really starting to progress though with that, so that's exciting.
After 10 years, finally. So there have been over 12,000 calls for service. We just had our employee awards, and that was one of our facts. Our fun facts, over 12,000 calls for service.
Great.
Our fire department responds to every single year, so it's pretty interesting, and they're very busy. So when you see all of our fire personnel, thank them. They do a great job. Very proactive, but it's a lot of calls for service every year as well.
You know, Mayor, it's been how many years since we've heard Northcom say they're looking for a building, and then deals fall through and ideas go away?
Well, so this is my 19th year in office. Oh, actually, today is starting my 8th year as mayor. But yeah, I think it's my 19th year in office. And yes, we've been talking about it at least, I would say 13 years.
Hopefully with some
13
success
years.
this time.
Yeah, hopefully. Clean Energy Alliance, Councilmember Nunez.
Thank you, Mayor. We did meet, our last meeting was November the 20th, and it is our last meeting of this year. We're dark in December, and so the big issue that we're facing is the potential increase in energy rates that we're trying to balance, along with maintaining a good financial standing. And it's been very tough. We had great participation from especially our senior citizens at our meeting that showed up to give public comment about their, how tough the, really, it's just really an uncertain time for them, and how difficult it is for them to pay the utility rates and to pay other necessities. So it's something that we know it's happening to a lot of individuals, not only our senior citizens. So we are facing a tough decision in terms of what we're going to do with the rates. We expect to continue to explore options, but in January, the board will be making a decision. So I'll be looking at Clean Energy Alliance staff to hopefully come and present to us with an update maybe in January. And I do encourage the residents to show up at our next meeting in January and obviously give us their public comment. But it is a tough decision that's in front of the board.
So Councilmember, so when is your meeting going to be that you'll be making the decision?
So our next meeting is expected to happen in January, and we normally meet the last Thursday at 2 o'clock in January. So I will be announcing the set date and time at our first January meeting, 2026. And I do encourage, if somebody cannot physically be there, we do have a Zoom option. So anybody can join the meeting via Zoom and be able to make public comment via Zoom. So our meeting is scheduled, and it will be the 4th January, so January 22nd, and we start at 2 o'clock in Encinitas at the Leucadia Water District.
So is that a move from Oceanside City Hall? Or
That's
is it
correct.
Or is it rotational?
No, we're scheduled, as far as I know, to continue to meet in the Leucadia Water District.
Okay, thank you.
And my suggestion would be to our city clerk, if we could please get them scheduled for the first meeting so that we could hear a full presentation, because it is such a tough time for people. I mean, when you're on a fixed income, any increase in anything, especially on your utilities, I mean, there's just no way to plan for that if you have no idea. It's a lot of uncertainty. So it'd be good to hear from them as to what they
Absolutely.
think that would be.
Absolutely.
And then if they have, I know this is kind of hard, but a prediction of what they think those rates might actually increase to, I think that would be a prudent thing for them to discuss at that time.
I think, Michelle, maybe we can work with staff to pull some of those preliminary numbers, and maybe we can share in some of our social media. Maybe we can coordinate some of that to give information to our residents of what really, so they can start thinking through what that might look like. We don't have final numbers yet. My understanding is that those projections are still being finalized. So we'll have a better idea in January what the increases will look like.
So if they have that by our first meeting, that we're going to schedule them to come here to the council, that would be super helpful. I would be reticent for us to put things on social media when we don't have a number yet. But once they give us a number, I would think that would be a prudent thing to do. Yeah, Deputy Mayor, did you?
Yeah, I'd caution us on putting stuff on our social media from CEA, because there's already a tremendous amount of confusion in the public with what is SDG&E's role, what is CEA's role. I think if the city starts communicating out there on behalf of CEA or just sharing that information out, it's just going to add to that communication, or that confusion. But I would like to, when we have that meeting with their staff, to really reinforce with them that they communicate with their customers essentially. And I'd also like to learn a lot more about what levers they have that they can perhaps pull to either spread that cost out over time, or do something a little bit more, just like I reported within CTD. We're going through all year long, we've been going through ways of finding efficiencies to be able to operate in a leaner way while still serving our customers. And I'd like to hear what CEA has been doing to try to alleviate some of those that cost burden on our residents, because there are a lot of people out there that are really hurting.
And that's exactly the balancing act that the staff is looking to see what they're going to what options they're going to come to the board with. And so that's why I think it'll be really important for our residents to really pay attention to what's being considered and what would make the most sense. There are certain options that, for instance, one of the requests that we put forward is whether or not rebates would make sense. And we're being told that it would be cost prohibitive to implement something like that. But certainly there are, it's a lot of concern that we're seeing across the board, not just from residents here in the city of San Marcos, but the other member cities.
Yeah, I could imagine so.
Thanks, Deputy Mayor. Councilmember Musgrove.
Yeah, thank you, Mayor. It seems as though I know for a fact we're getting ready to roll out at least a beta version of our new website, making it a lot easier for us and the residents to navigate. That would be a fantastic hyperlink, anything of interest to the city, so that there's a clean energy link. They can go right to there just by going to our city website, and then let Clean Energy, as the Deputy Mayor suggested, let them post it on their social media pages for our residents.
No, I think these are excellent ideas, and I think we could probably coordinate some of that where we might be able to share some of the information that Clean Energy Alliance is putting out to their customers, to our residents.
Yeah, and I think nothing specific that we would be putting on as in our own information. I think a link is a great idea. Also, if we're going to do a link, I think, to Clean Energy Alliance, I think we should also have a link to Vallecito's Water District, because there is a lot of confusion sometimes of who does what, and when people say, oh, well, my sewer, my water, I'm like, well, we're not in charge of that. And then we may add another one to also EDCO, maybe so we have like a utilities kind of overall link, and then you can click on the different utilities that are not run by the city,
a drop-down
not covered
is
by the
fine.
city. Yeah, I think a drop-down would be a prudent idea on that.
Okay, I can.
We might not be able to do it right away because I know it's going to take a little planning on that. But I think just having, that drop down so that we don't, people understand, okay, the city's not in charge of this, the city's not in charge of that, because we want the right entity to be able to help people, because we definitely want to get them that help that they need.
All right, I love the idea of consolidating. Right now, we do have a link to CEA and EDCO, but I think putting that on one page with some of the other community partners is a great idea.
Yeah.
And we can certainly do what we do with other partners, which is we rely on them to put out their socials and then we share. So
Right.
that's very consistent with how we operate with the other partners. So we can absolutely do that.
Sounds good? Okay. All right, next up is a business visit. So we went, Councilmember Nunez and I went yesterday to, now I can't remember, is it Parabolis or, Parabolis.
Yes.
Parabolis, I didn't go to it last time. It was a fascinating a business visit because I had no idea they were here in San Marcos. So Parabolis Space Technologies began in Poway in 1998 and relocated to San Marcos in 2014, establishing a long-term presence here in North County. The company operates 2 facilities in San Marcos for engine assembly and manufacturing. They're actually right near one another, just across the parking lot, actually, along with a dedicated test site in Ramona. Well, it's actually in Lakeside, but they want to move it to Ramona to support the propulsion system development. And they maintain a highly specialized team of 17 employees. We walked around and we saw a few of them working, but they're pretty busy. They've got a lot going on, and they are manufacturers worldwide of advanced propulsion technology. So basically satellites up there moving around by propulsion. Clean, they do it pretty clean. So actually, we don't have a picture of the cylinder, but they have these cylinders. Did you want to jump in, Councilmember? This is rocket fuel, by the way. It looks like a coaster. It looks like it's plastic, but it's rubber, and it's rocket fuel. Yeah, it's pretty neat. You want to touch it? Look at you. It's very interesting. Anyway.
Very interesting.
So do you want to jump in there?
Yeah, the company currently partners with NASA and the U.S. Space Force on specialized projects, reinforcing its role in national defense and space exploration. And they're currently collaborating with graduate students from California State University, San Marcos, and on cybersecurity project demonstrating its active engagement with local education and workforce development. Through its San Marcos and Ramona facilities, the company contributes to the regional advanced manufacturing and aerospace ecosystem. I do remember that we did get to meet one of their newer employees. They said it's their youngest employee, and she came to them from University of San Diego.
Correct, yep. And right out of college.
Right.
Right out of college, got that job. And I think it's a pretty good, high-paying job, too.
It sounds like it. And the other thing they did mention is that they're looking to add, I believe they said 17 new employees fairly soon.
Mm-hmm. And if you look at that picture, it doesn't actually go up in the air. We saw that and we were like, oh, wildfire. But it doesn't do that. It's just simply to test the propulsion system. And as soon as it no longer is fueled with air, so, you know, there's no more oxygen, it goes right out. So it's kind of deceptive looking at it because it looks like, oh my gosh, there's a fire and there's going to be, you know, there's a flame and there's going to be a fire. But anyway, it was really interesting, and how many, I didn't even know this. So there's like I want to say like a graveyard right now of technology kind of floating out there in the atmosphere, which is kind of a little bit scary. And then they were talking about, it was fascinating, like trash trucks that can go around with it, which they're kind of considering on doing next, where they can pick up all the old technology, because it's, you know, much like the trash in the middle of the actual sea, you know, with the plastic and all that. It's like that up in space. It's
The
so
space
crazy.
junk, Mayor?
What?
The space junk?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like space junk. Yes. I had no idea. You know about this? Of course.
Somewhat.
I had no idea. I was shocked, and it's just floating around up there.
You can actually find maps, and it is littered.
Well, some of them, you know, they come back to Earth. That's what I thought all of them did, but some of them actually, you know, they run out of fuel and they just float around up there, and it's kind of weird. Anyway, they're not going to be coming back, but
Is this company off of Linda Vista?
it is.
Okay.
Yes.
I
Yeah.
think-
Have you ever been there?
Yeah, I have. I've seen this photo too. I think my first business visit ever might have been there, and because I'm having some deja vu here. So, I'm glad to hear that they're doing good and thriving. That's great.
Yeah, they have a new CEO. He just retired from another job back in January, and then by April, he started this job because he said it's just such a dream job of all that they're doing. It's really very cutting edge. I was a little surprised that they don't have any patents at this point in time, which I thought was interesting. I had no idea. Anything you wanted to add, Councilmember?
Another really
Fascinating.
and there in our city.
Yes, and right here in Little San Marcos. So, anyway, anything else? Any council members would like to share? I guess I would just like to say Merry Christmas to everyone. We are not going to have a second meeting this month. And we just want to wish everyone a very healthy and happy New Year, because we won't see you before New Year. And we will see you back in 2026. Any other comments? All right, with that, this meeting is adjourned, the last one for 2025.